Okay, so Dr. Adill, as you know, he was the first doctor victimised for speaking the truth. And we met him in Kensington Gardens in 2020, June 2020, I think it was, way near the start of stuff. And, you know, he's been fighting on since then. Well, he can tell you more about it, but he's been malevolently treated by the GMC, General Medical Council of the Doctors, just like Dr. Anne McCluskey. So I think we want to hear from Dr. Adill for 10 minutes or so about what's happening to him and a coming repeat court case. Okay, doctor, do you want to come up soon?
Yes, thank you. That's all you do. Thank you, Piers, for inviting me. The ultimate measurements of a man is not measured where he stands at the time of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the time of controversy and confusion. My great friend, Mr. Piers Corbin, I would like to pay my personal appreciation for inviting me for this magnificent gathering of freedom fighters who have come from far and distance with determination to continue the struggle for the humanity, freedom, and human rights. I am Dr. Adil, and I stood for the cause of humanity 4.5 years ago when I critically looked into this scenario of what was happening in early 2020 under the shadow of COVID-19. And it was propagated by the mainstream media as the most dangerous virus in the world, which is transmitted from human to human, which resulted into a lot of confusion at the time of wilderness and darkness. People were confused not only because of the fear generated by the mainstream media against the virus, but also the entire health system of the country, not only in UK, but the entire world was shut down. That resulted into absolute chaos for patients who were waiting for their medical treatment, especially the cancer patients who lost their lives without having a proper treatment at that time. Not only that, there has been certain confusion among the public because initially, on 19th of March, the government statement was that the COVID-19 is no more high consequence infectious disease. But after 3 days down the line, they put the country into lockdown. Then the serious restrictions were imposed on the public for the face masking and the sanitizers, because at that time the message was that the virus was spread by the contact surfaces. And we noticed that there was a sanitizer everywhere, in each shop, restaurant, train, and everywhere. But soon after that, we realized that this was not true, and the second statement of the WHO was that this is actually the transmission by the aerosol infections, and they put the 6 feet distance from each other to isolate the public from each other. All the transportation was shut down, including the colleges, universities, and schools, and people suffered with loss of their jobs, employment, and financial crisis. Not only that, but people suffered from a lot of psychological stress and anxiety. So I was closely watching all the events happening there because the COVID-19 was not supported by the science at that time. We had no evidence whatsoever. But unnecessary lockdown, closure of the health services, violation of the human rights and civil liberties, and undue fear created into the public by the mainstream media prompted me to go on the social media for 2 reasons. As a critical thinker with 35 years of experience in medicine as a senior consultant, I went and expressed my viewpoint for 2 reasons. Number 1, I initiated a scientific debate to discuss about the origin of this virus, if it does exist, its mode of spread, transmission, pathogenicity, and to control in order to safeguard the public. Secondly, my intention was to relieve the stress and anxiety and fear among the public, which was appreciated by many thousands of people across the world. I was standing for truth and freedom for the public and to restore the health services, but this was not appreciated by the medical regulator, and I was suspended by the GMC on 1st of June 2020 with 3 days notice. I had no clinical issue or complaint or any ethical or antisocial behavior which could justify their unwarranted suspension for 12 months on 1st of June. Not only that, they extended the suspension for another 12 months on 25th of May 2021 for another 12 months. I had no choice but went to the High Court, and I had 2 hearings in the High Court without any favorable results. So the third one is coming up on 13th of November 2024 in the High Court of Justice, Strand, London at 10 o'clock. I would invite you all to come and join for the support and solidarity. 13th of November 2024 at 10 o'clock. It's a day hearing, and a lot of freedom fighters and the human rights activists are joining, and I would invite you to join me as well in order to show the strength and unity. I believe on freedom of speech and expression. I believe on freedom of press and publication. I believe on the freedom of religious belief, worship, and faith. And I believe on human rights and civil liberties. That's what I stood for. And they suspended me to keep me silenced, but they were unable to silence me. And you can see that I'm still standing there. And we had multiple rallies all over the world, and which has been very successful with all the determination. Now, 4.5 years down the line, we come to this conclusion that whatever happened was actually a false propaganda. The man who put the lockdown in the country, he said that COVID-19 was the most dangerous virus and was natural spread from the animals to the human being. But now, in his statement in the United States, he has taken a U-turn, and he said that actually this is a man-made virus. My question to the world is, who was the man who has made this virus? We like to see, isn't it? So the entire world want to know, if the previous head of state says that this was a man-made virus, we need to have an evidence that who were the people behind that. So that is the truth and justice we are standing for. At this stage, we are going very well with all unity and strength, and stand together with full determination and strength in order to achieve the success. And don't let anybody to pull you so down that you lose your confidence in standing, not standing against, not standing for the freedom and the human rights. For that, we have to be prepared and determined. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm most grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.